This is the Tree of Life, Season 10, Chapter 8. In this episode, we will be introducing a new kind of substitution event, which we will call reverse substitution. To start off, we explained in Season 10, Chapter 6, how there are two sides to a substitution event created by negation. In the last episode, we discussed how these substitution events generate negational hybrid structures, which produce displacement events in the next highest level, the level corresponding to path parsimony. We discussed how during a substitution event, it is as if another person takes the place of the actor, through the conjoint consensuality, corresponding to the gap in time parsimony. During this gap in time parsimony, the actor exists in a dissonant space, the convoluted path, and another actor assumes their physical space within the conjoint consensuality, whilst their consciousness continues along the linear path. This is all from the perspective of the actor within the dissonant space. To them, nothing has changed in their path, that is, they maintain the same linear stream of consciousness, although physically, their vessel has been replaced by another vessel from the perspective of the conjoint consensuality. Now, this is an ordinary substitution event, which results from the causal reordering created by the resumption of time parsimony. But there is an altogether different kind of substitution event created by institutional hybrid structures, corresponding to the reversal of the substitution event. In that case, the individual continues along the path corresponding to path parsimony, their physical vessel remains subject to a substitution event, but that substitution releases them to a dissonant space, wherein their vessel participates within a dissonant space created by a hybrid institutional structure. Now, what defines this dissonant space? Well, an ordinary substitution event is created by negation by the actor involved. But a dissonant space, which produces a reverse substitution event, is typically created by the reversal of the negation corresponding to that individual within the conjoint consensuality. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are seated in a movie theater, and you are waiting for a movie to start. Let's say, for example, that you are really looking forward to this particular movie, and when the movie starts you are enthralled. You are absorbed into the film, which captures your attention, resulting in the release of your impulses into the substance of it. That is, your impulses are reflexively determined by the content of that film for the duration of it. Now, when the film is over, there is negation. It is negation because it represents the release of the willing suspension of disbelief. Which is to say, that in this case the negation is a posteriori, rather than a priori. Thus, the dissonant space precedes the negation rather than following it. In this case, during the course of that film, you exist within a dissonant space, during which time, there is a substitution event. More accurately, the substitution event precedes the willing suspension of disbelief rather than following it. And causal reordering happens prior to the dissonant space instead of after it. In other words, in a reverse substitution event, time parsimony continues before the film and begins afterwards. Now, hybrid institutional structures were created by the physical anchoring of symbolic objects, which reflexively condition impulses within the mind, just as dissonant hybrid structures were created by the pairing of negation and affirmation relative to dialectical impulses between a series of individuals, producing given exclusive word associations. In the example given, the symbolic objects in question are the objects which form the basis for the particular film in question and the relationship between the actors themselves. But institutional structures can be constructed on any objects which possess said exclusive word associations. Effectively, from this, we can see that an individual who maintains two states, namely, an archetypal consensual state and a spatial non-consensual state, can exhibit two distinct forms of substitution, corresponding to self a priori and other posteriori negation. These two forms of substitution can be called substitution simpliciter and reverse substitution. That's the end of the podcast for today.